So this is the post-maiden video of the Dynam Albatros DVA. Just got back from maiding it for the first time, put a whole battery through it. I used a 2200 4-cell and it was okay. I probably went a little bit more nose weight and a little bit more weight in general for penetration, so I flew it on with 2200. Probably gonna bump it up to a 3300 4S. Hopefully get a little bit more nose weight, a little bit more wind penetration. It's kind of windy today. Did pretty well. Ailerons rolled it okay, but most of the turning was done with the rudder. After putting a full battery through it, I realized when I got to my second battery right before I took off that my rudder looked like this. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, my rudder looked like that when I had centered everything and it was perfectly centered earlier. So when I checked it, turns out, I don't know if you can see that well, that little pin that works the hinge fell out somehow and cocked over my rudder. So thankfully I saw that before I took off again, since the rudder's so necessary to turn this thing, especially in the windy conditions. But avoided that problem. I'm gonna try to fix that now. Actually, this elevator hinge here had a pin missing when I was putting it together out of the box, and I don't know if you can see that. I put just a really small piece of extruded PLA for my 3D printer and bent over the sides as a little hinge because it was too small for a paper clip or anything else I could find. And it seems to have held up fine. It doesn't have any problems. The elevator was pretty stable the whole flight. Also noticed that I don't have a spinner on it. It's over here. It's because from the factory, the spinner, like the whole prop assembly put together, vibrated a lot at RPM. So I started taking apart things and see what happens. Without the backplate, it doesn't vibrate that much, but it's kind of toothed for the propeller, so I wasn't really too confident in having it without the special backplate. So I put the backplate, vibrates a little bit, but definitely within tolerances for it not to shake itself apart at flight, but pretty sure with this it might shake something off the plane. And I think it's because this outer circle of the spinner backplate isn't true with the hole inside of it. So it's pretty bad now, but if you put the spinner and it indexes it away from the actual axis of rotation, it just makes it shake a lot more. It's a lot more mass up there. Let me show you guys the battery placement I had on this flight, even though it's not the recommended right now, because I think I would go a little bit more nose heavy. But just so you guys can see. So here's the 2200, exactly the same as the 2200 I showed you earlier. And it's pretty much as far forward as it'll go without bending the leads crazy amount. Maybe if I flipped it over, I could get the weight a little bit farther. It's a little easier to just put this connector, fold it back over itself to connect the battery to the plane. Oh, the undercarriage, the sprung undercarriage worked great. It really landed well. It really didn't bounce or anything, especially with the headwind I had. I was landing at maybe like 5 to 10 miles an hour ground speed, which wasn't a lot. Flip this over. Only on one landing, it rolled a little way and hit 2 rocks at the same time. It just kind of nosed over. It didn't even nose over all the way. It just kind of did the little World War I lawn dart. So in all, I'd say this plane's pretty good. And I'm going to try to fix the rudder issue, put a bigger battery on it, and then keep flying it. I mean, it flies pretty well. Might mount a GoPro somewhere on the radiator or the top, maybe in the cockpit, but let's see. I don't even know if you can see very well through it. That's a pretty cool view. It looks just like Rise of Flight. So maybe I will end up putting a GoPro on there narrow. That'd be a pretty cool view. So I'll see how it goes. I'm pretty sure my dad got some pretty good video of the maiden. Try to cut into a video and then I'll upload that one beside this one. Decided to start uploading videos about this, even though I don't really usually do this, because I couldn't find a lot of videos about this particular plane. Just hopefully, you know, I can help out with everybody trying to set up their Albatros. It's pretty fun, a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. But let's just see how it goes. See you guys.